In this video, we are going to see admin preference, admin category, and creation of new currency. So, if we go to admin preference, so you can see general, data limit, ID length, time period, unvalue, reports, option, rate type, industry, and exceptional site list. So, if we come to general, you can see a WBS code separator. It's totally depend upon you which type of code separator you want. Currently, it is in on type dot if you want to add the dash button, or you can want and starting date of week. So in so many projects, the start date of week consider from the Sunday. But suppose you are working in the Saudi where Friday consider as the holiday, so you can consider Saturday as the first day of week. So again, it's totally depend upon the region and the area you are working. In some, they have started the first day of week from the Monday. So it's totally depend upon you. Now this is the activity duration. So whenever you add any activity, so default unit will always show 5. If I change this into a 10 and close, if I add any activity, so the default unit will be at 10 days. So if you go to admin preference, from here activity duration, you can change the default duration. So it can be 5, 10, 2 is totally depend upon you. Now there is a data limit. So we do not need to change anything. It is only the limits up to which you can go like EPS and WPS. So you can go up to a 10 levels of maximum limit. Baseline, maximum baseline copy with project 3. So this you can increase from here 3 and 4. Maximum activity code per project. So here from that you can increase. Maximum baseline for project you can put 100. You can main us use so many baselines. We do not require that much of baseline. Last updated or last approved will use. So from this you can change the data limit. Now there is a ID limit in which you can see there is a activity ID maximum character. So it will not change from the 20. It will reduce from 20, but it will not change from 20, and everything will change. Okay. WPS code will change, project ID will change, course ID will not change from more than 20. So below 3 is not going to change. So what does it actually means? So if activity ID, the maximum character is 20, so if I write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So if I start typing, so it will not go beyond that. So this is the limit for the activity ID. So whenever you are creating any activity ID, you should remember that you cannot cross the limit of 20. Admin preference. So here you have a time period. So basically, if you are using a 24 calendar or different type of calendar, so you can change here your time period. For example, you are using a 24 days calendar, so you can change from here. Primavera have a default setting of 8 hours, 5 day of working. So that's why the time period coming according to that. So from here, you can change your time period. Currently, I am making 8. Now this is the abbreviation for each time period. For minute is N. You can change this into M. Hours is H. D for day. Weeks for W. M for month. And this is the year. You can change this into MO. M. H. D. V. MO and Y. So this is your time period abbreviation. Next is your report. So from here you can change your header and all. We can also change in the report format. Now this is your option. So it show by calendar, WBS level, resource assignment levels, chord spread. It's always linear or unit spread. Again, it's totally depend upon you. Also, it can be done from the resources, so it's not need to change anything here. Rate type is a default already given in the Primavera. You do not need to change anything. Industry. So whenever you get any pop-up, whenever you logging the Primavera, you get the pop-up to select the industry. So you can come to this admin preference and industry, and you can select any engineering industry here. So last is the exceptional site list. So if you want to add anything, you have published any Power BI, so you can use your site here, and if you click, it will open. So suppose I am going to use this is my YouTube. So I will select this. So this is my exceptional site list. So like that, I can add any site. So this is admin preference for you. Next, admin is admin category. So in admin category, you can find baseline type. So basically, it is a customer sign off, initial plan, or you can add if you want anything, detail, baseline, approved. So this is the baseline type I have added. Generally, it is not required that much. Now this is the expense category, admin, consultancy, facility, hardware, legal professional, manufacturing, materials, shipping, software, training, travel. Now you can add your IDC, means indirect cost. So like that you can add expense here. Now here you cannot find anything called petrol, diesel, mess or food and rent. So like that you can add the expense category. This will be found under the admin. Next is your WBS category. It is already there. You do not need to require category that much often, but if you want to add from here, you can add. Again, this is the document category. If you want to add when you are working on the cloud version, so you have a document category. So again, you can add. Here you have a document status. Here you have a risk category. If you want to add any more risk, notebook topic. If you want to add any notebook topic, you can add from here. Last, one of the important which I need to describe you more, it is unit of measurement. So generally when you are using the material resources, you require a unit of measurement. So first I can use CUM. Okay. So this is my cubic meter. RS means Indian rupees because when we putting the cost in the material, we require this Indian rupees. Numbers, when you are putting the quantity, you require this. RIF, so reinforcement. Sorry, here you have to write metric ton. Ton in metro, you generally have a span, so here you have to write span. So cubic meter is there. Indian rupees number ton. RMT running meter. So this is your s- square meter. So like that you can add n numbers of unit of measurement, which is generally required for the material. So this fall under the admin category. So this all you can add based on your requirement. Admin and last is your currency. So some of the Primavera does not have a Indian currency as a default unit. So as you find Indian rupees, currently it is a default, which having a certain exchange rate. So we don't want such exchange rate in our project. So we will add, can put as rupees, Indian rupees. We will put as a RS, and the exchange rate is 1 because we don't want to exchange to any other currency. So the decimal symbol, you can put this or comma, we will put this, and up to 2. So Primavera has a default setting. It will not go more than 2 value after decimal. So this can be your interview question, up to which decimal space Primavera takes. So it's always take up to 2. So this we have changed as an Indian currency, which exchange rate once. So if we want to apply this, again you go to edit, user preference, currency, and change this to this. Now your currency is changed here while in the user preference. So this is all from the admin, which cover the admin preference, category and currency. So whenever we require anything else in our project, so again we will create. So this is just a brief about the admin preferences, categories and currency in this video.